Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 12, where we're going to discuss 3 key reasons you probably did not get that promotion you know that you deserve. This is once again episode 12, bringing to you by Leader Tips by E, and we are talking about 3 of the key reasons you probably didn't get that promotion you know that you deserve. The first reason would be on them. Similarity biases, microaggressions, prototyping biases that exist in the workplace. The second reason you probably didn't get it is because not enough promotion of self. The third reason you probably did not get that role is because of no constructive or helpful feedback. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So the very first reason is about the different biases and microaggressions that show up in the workplace. And guess what? This is nothing about us as women or us as women of color. This is all about them, those leaders in the organization. And I do want to share with you some key points about it. There are various biases that show up in the workplace, and the 2 that really stand out to me when I think about promotions would be similarity bias as well as prototyping bias. So similarity bias basically says that if you look at your executive level team, I'm talking about your VP and up, more than likely, they don't look a lot like you. As a matter of fact, they might look the polar opposite from you. And that is because of a similarity bias. People tend to promote people who look, feel, sound, act, and love just like them. And if we don't have a lot of representation of women, and especially women of color in executive level positions, then guess what? They're not really bringing in more that actually look like them. And that's one reason there's low representation in your VP and up positions within your organization. So similarity bias is one. The second one is when I talk about prototyping bias. So prototyping bias truly shows up when people are not able to see success unless it looks like them. For example, maybe a lot of people within your executive team, they went to very prestigious universities, and you have someone else that probably went to a non-traditional university. And because of that, they're having a hard time processing how someone who went to an online college can actually come in and do an awesome job as someone who went to Harvard or someone who went to Pepperdine, etc. And so what can you do about this? The thing that you have to do is be okay with who you are and own your experiences. And once you own your experience, you're going to have to be very comfortable at really talking about how your uniqueness and your unique experiences, the ones that are quite different from everyone else in leadership, how that's actually going to add value to the leadership team. For example, let's say, for instance, most of the people on the leadership team, they went to these Ivy League prestigious colleges, and you went to an online school. And so some of the things you can do is you can talk about how going to the online school really helped you to develop in areas like organization, helped you to really prioritize your work. It also equipped you and gave you the skills to really be able to build connections virtually with other people. And then you think about all the awesome things you had to do and how you had to really develop to be able to effectively get through school and apply that in the work setting. And so that is one way that those leaders promoting people can see how your difference and your uniqueness adds value to the team. The second thing is that there's just not enough promotion of you. That's number 2. You're not promoting you. I see us all the time on social media, and we're promoting ourselves, or we're promoting who we want to be perceived as. We have to take that same level of energy, excitement, and zeal and apply that in a corporate space. We have to become comfortable at talking about our wins, talking about our successes, talking about our accomplishments, talking about our contributions. And we have to do it in a way where we are also showing how we partner collectively as a team to get things done. And so just like Jim, just like Tom, just like Philip, they always let you know what awesome results they have. We as women, and especially women of color, we have to start doing that as well. Really bringing to the forefront our awesomeness and what we do well and how we're driving performance and how we're leveraging our team and how we're delegating and how we're growing people. We have to start talking about that too. We have to start promoting who we are so we can drive a confident brand throughout the organization. And the third one is no feedback. And a lot of times that no feedback comes with no sponsorship, no true leadership. Unfortunately for women, particularly women of color, we have been labeled as angry. And I want to somewhat give that excuse to some of the leaders on why they don't give us constructive or helpful feedback. Sometimes it could just be you have a leader who honestly just doesn't know how to give constructive feedback altogether. It doesn't matter about who you are, what you are. And oftentimes for us as women, and particularly women of color, it is this notion of, I don't want to upset her, I don't want to get her mad, because of that thought process that we're so angry. What do you need to do? You have to ask for the feedback. You have to be very intentional about asking for the feedback, and you have to ask for it in a way that's very direct, and you're not asking for the fluffy stuff and all the stuff you do well, because most of the time they can kind of give that to you. What they won't give to you is the helpful feedback, the constructive feedback, the challenging feedback, until it's time to walk you out the door, until it's time to promote you to customer, until you didn't get that position, until it's time for you to get your annual review. That's when you find out. And we don't want to be reactive, and we don't want to be behind the curve. We want to get in front. And so we have to own our development by asking, I would love to get some feedback from you today. And as a matter of fact, I would love to get some constructive feedback. What's one or two things I can do differently to really be able to drive influence on my team? What's the one or two things I can do differently to gain more visibility with our executive team? We have to be very clear, and we have to ask for the helpful and tough feedback. Today, we discussed 3 reasons you probably didn't get the position. The first one is all on them. It's their own biases and assumptions and microaggressions that they have. And the way for you to overcome that is for you to highlight your uniquenesses, your differences, and demonstrate and convey how those uniquenesses will add value to any team you're on. The second thing we talked about is not enough promotion of self. We're not promoting ourselves enough. And the way that we do that is to decide to talk about our successes, talk about our wins, share our contributions with our teammates and team meetings with executive team. And the third thing we talked about was not enough constructive or helpful feedback due to no leadership, no sponsorship. And the way we can attack that is by being very specific and asking very clearly for some helpful feedback so you can grow and enhance in areas you know you need to enhance in. I hope this video was helpful for you today. If you liked the video, please click like. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I also really encourage you to share my channel with your network, because I would love for them to be able to gain some additional knowledge and insight, and also know they're not alone in this corporate space. Thank you all so much for joining, and have a great day. Goodbye.